Put a container with 1 pint of water to heat up in the microwave. Remember that water should not be boiling, otherwise the yeast would not be set. The correct temperature for 1 pint. Get the hot water for 1 minute and 30 seconds. While you wait for the water to heat up, put 25 grams of yeast, not baking powder, into small pieces in a bowl. Add a teaspoon of sugar and pour on the compound 1/4 pint of water that you heated in the microwave. After a few minutes it will form a scum on the water surface in gray. Now, take a bowl, plastic or glass makes no difference, and paste 0.94 pound of semolina flour. Now add half a tablespoon of salt and stir with a spoon. Now add the flour and stir again with the spoon. Well, now you take the cup with the olive oil and pour in the mixture that you have obtained with the 2 types of flour and salt. Mix well with a spoon, oil and flour. Do not worry if you cannot mix it all. Now add the water with the yeast, which is melted to form the foam. Mix with a spoon and add warm water a little at a time. For the amount of flour you put in the bowl, just the water that you've warmed up. When you see that the flour is mixed with enough water, use your hands to knead. Note that if while kneading the flour dries out, add more water. The amount that you've warmed up, 1 pint, is sufficient. Could advance, but it is not a problem. Knead until you can pull the dough out of the bowl. Put the dough on a dry shelf. Okay, a wooden board, but also your table or a plastic surface. The more you work the dough with your hands and better rise, the more you work the dough, and more air is incorporated. The more you work the dough, the more you are tired. You could also use a machine to knead, but you would not be a good pizza. The mixer is not traditional winking face. If the dough sticks to the surface, add a little flour and continue to work until they manage to form a rubbery ball. The dough will be managed well when you pull and shape without breaking it. Now your dough is ready to be put to rise. Form a ball and sprinkle flour on it. Put the dough in the bowl where you started working in the flour. Make a cross cut on the dough. The cut serves to facilitate the escape of the gas produced by the fermentation of yeast that have activated with sugar. Now cover the dough with a towel and put it to rise in a warm place, where there are no drafts. Away from air conditioners and refrigerator. Leave the dough to rise for 2 to 3 hours. Well, you've waited the allotted time. Take the dough, which in the meantime will be raised again, and put it on the work surface. Take a pan and anoint him with a bit of olive oil. Work the dough with your hands, even a few seconds, then it begins to spread. The dough that we have obtained is suitable to form 2 large buns at least 30–40 of a centimeter in diameter. If you want a little more dough, you can halve the dose. Alright, now you spread the dough into the pan greased with olive oil. Now you have to take the can of peeled tomatoes. Help yourself with your hands or with a fork and begins to break down the peeled tomatoes in. Sprinkle it with care saline pasta. Try not to drop the tomato over the outer edge, because it would burn doing a lot of smoke. Spread the tomato well and cover the dough. Okay, now begins to put the olives. It makes little difference if the olives are black or white. You can use olives with pits or pitted. You can use whole olives or sliced. You can use Greek olives, Italian, American, what you want. You can complete the work with oregano, if you like, and do not forget to sprinkle a pinch of salt. Do not forget to spread a bit of olive oil, never seed oil. Now is the time to bake in the oven your flatbread. The preheated oven you have for a couple of minutes. Do not use the ventilated. The temperature you set it to 200 degrees. The cooking time 45 minutes. You must use only the electrical resistance down in the oven. Now cut the mozzarella into small pieces. Now you can add the ham on focaccia, also cut very thin. Put back in the oven flatbread for a short time, the time required to melt the cheese. In this way, the basil and ham does not dry up.